In 1997, they birthed the franchise. I Know What You Did Last Summer, and in 2025, I think they just killed that franchise. Hopefully, we are back. Minor League Films, here's your boy, Flying Jay. Scotty with me. We came back to talk I Know What You Did Last Summer in a spoiler fashion, as I said we would do. Scotty, how much did you like the movie?
I haven't seen a horror movie sequel that I disliked this much in a long time, like since Rest Stop 2.
Yeah, man. I walked out of this movie, and everyone. I mean, a lot of people saw my review. They liked it, but it was so hard not to go into spoiler territory and talk about like I really put on like I really like people that know how I feel about the movie. But this is one of those where you really can't talk about it without spoiling it because it's that bad. Not trying to say, hey man, watch it for yourself, but it was that bad, and now we can finally get into it. So saw this movie. Day it came out. Man, they just pulled some stuff. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. First of all,
No.
then I'll go back to my review a little bit. Characters flat, completely flat. They're writing on them, and they got this director who wrote Thor: Love and Thunder, and it was like, damn, like I'm not a big fan of that movie, but I know you're competent enough to put a movie together. Like I don't walk out Thor: Love and Thunder saying that was absolute train wreck. I'm just like, you wasted a lot of good opportunities you had. This was an absolute train wreck. The characters were flat. The plot makes absolutely no sense. The twist in here is something that if you've seen the movies before, you just don't even know. Like this, you're like, this is not possible. Like you're like,
Yeah.
I hate to tell you in a movie world something that's fantastical, what's possible and what's not because it's a movie. But going by these movies is not possible. So I don't know. Where do you want to start? Because I've talked a lot about this movie, but we'll
There,
go to you.
the backstory really doesn't matter because it's the same thing that happens. Like four friends or five friends end up running somebody over, and instead of helping them, they're scared of the police. I mean, I can start here. Like
Yeah, right.
the police presence in the movie, like as far as the main guy that starts saying, "Oh, the police are coming, we can't deal with this." Like his dad is like the mayor or something. I'm like, wait a minute, you could have gotten out of this no matter what if you just called for help. That was stupid. Then
But
you had we'll go in later on this one girl. The I'll call her the weird girl of the group. She's
yeah,
the first person that said no. Let's drive away, and we'll get into that in a couple of minutes of why that makes no sense for her character to
absolutely
even
not.
say. And that's all. That's all you really need is a backstory. And then of course they start getting the note saying, "I know what you did last summer in murder and all that stuff." But I'm like, man, the characters were so bad. The only character I really said, okay, I can at least see her as like she's struggling, going through something was the
Main
main
character.
girl's best friend. I
Chase,
thought
the
she
one
was
she played Ava in the movie.
yeah, I thought she was okay. But
Yeah,
the rest of the characters, I'm like, man, I'm like, even the Scooby Doo factor was not in this movie. Like everybody is getting murdered, so they're all alive. The main core group is alive, and I was annoyed that the main group couldn't stay together because there was no reason for them to separate. I'm like, why are we separating at all? You have no jobs. Like no one on this group has a job. Everybody in this group is kind of rich except for the weird girl. And yes, she has a job. Fine. Y'all could have met her at her job and hung out or something. At no point in this movie is there any kind of camaraderie where it's like, let's stay together for safety. No.
no, and also too, I didn't reveal it when I did my initial review, but the change in the accident makes this movie already make zero sense because they didn't do anything. Like
Yeah.
they are playing in the road, whatever. This dude comes down driving recklessly. Like he caused
Yeah.
his own accident. It's not like in the original where they ran a guy over and almost killed him. Like this one, they really don't do anything wrong, and they call the police. And it's also too like, hey, we gotta go. Like that cliff, you can't nobody go down there and save that guy. Like,
Yeah.
what equipment do they have to go help him? Like, we're staying here. Well, that's not going to help you or nothing. I guess you can tell the police what happened, but that's not helping anything.
Right.
So
It,
that change
it's,
already happened. And yeah, these characters have, I said, they have no self preservation. They got a dude that dies because he's afraid to get some ass. Like, it's like he just dies because the girl wants him to choke him a little bit when they're hooking up. And it's like, nah, let me go outside where the killer is. It's like, come on, man.
I couldn't believe that scene was one of the worst scenes I'd ever seen. Like you had to go all the way outside of your safety to do that. And that and
The room.
they're so bad. And then the police, I know the police are bad in horror movies, fine. But the police in this movie, along with the mayor, where they tried to erase that the town had dozens of murders like 20 years ago. And even now, when the girls come to like the town hall, I mean, they're like, hey, when the town hall, they're addressing the murders. They're like, hey, this is happening. This happened to me. I reported it. Nothing happened. And just simply the mayor's like, nah, we good. And then Freddie Prinze Jr. comes and he's like, you're covering up again, huh? And I'm thinking, I say, okay, the town's going to rally together. They're going to get this solved. Whole town's in their seats like, yep, another town hall. Nothing's happening. I'm going to look concerned, but we're not going to do anything. But like everybody in this movie is kind of flat. They're just sitting there in the town hall where murder has just been happening. Even when, when they come to the murder scenes and you see all the people in the town outside, they're just sitting there just like this, just looking. I'm like, is there any emotion going to happen in this town? No one wants to do anything about anything.
No, they saw a girl get hung in the middle of the town. This is the town sees. It's not just one person or two. The town sees this and they have no reaction to it. But you know what's even crazier? When you say that, talking about they tried to erase what happened, then why do you have a store in the middle of town that's still the same from 30 years, unchanged, may it be? And that was, I'm like, so you're telling me, like, I would guess the family owns this store. That would be the logical thing because both the sisters work there. They changed nothing. They didn't get rid of any statues. They just left it there. It's like they would have sold this and somebody else would have came in, knocked it down, and built something else at least. Like you're gonna leave I'm trying to change the town, but also leave a spot where a double murder happened. It's absolutely insane. But I will say, yeah, man, this is just this is written so much so that it's such a cash grab that it's like this is something that was already a cash grab, and somehow you turned into more of a cash grab than it already was. Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle, not good. Jennifer Love Hewitt, not Sarah Michelle Gellar. Jennifer Love Hewitt are brought back for absolutely no reason except to get nostalgia in this movie.
Oh, there's a reason. There's
a very bad reason, but they're brought back basically just to get nostalgia and people say, hell, I want to see them in this game because I like the original. These new characters are like, I don't even like, one, they're written so flat. Two, you're relying on some star power here. Madison Klein, I don't blame her, but her character is so horrible in this movie that it's like, why you could have why pay her the big bucks to bring her in? You could have did anybody with that. Yeah. But that would be if you actually cared about the content. They just cared about the name and getting people in this theater. So that's why she's in here, because her character is horrible. She's the star here. And it's like all of these characters just their decisions just make no sense. Like they don't have any self-preservation. They're, like you said, they're a Scooby-Doo game. They split up every time. And also, too, I gotta add on, we talk about in the original, Max, they killed him for absolutely no reason. They kill a ton of people in this movie for no reason.
But they killed the groundskeeper. At one point, they go find the kid's grave that they killed, and the killer kills the groundskeeper. And once you find out who the killer is, that makes zero sense to do that. They could have whooped his ass, knocked him out, and looked at the that scene was terrible. The twist, and this twist, if you want to get into the twist, is the worst. I'm trying to think. I think this may be the worst horror movie twist that I've seen in over a decade. I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, Freddie Prinze Jr. being like both, like not the non-twist is one of the worst reasons of having a killer I've ever seen, with the girl who, like you said, she was at the scene and said, "Let's go." Like she's seen they had nothing to do with the murder, or she left. The death. She seen it firsthand. And Freddie Prinze Jr. coming back and he doesn't even have a good reason.
No. Well, his reasoning, they said, because they alluded to it, which was also terrible. When he went to go see Jennifer at her house, and when they said she divorced, apparently they divorced because Freddie couldn't let what happened to him go. Fine, I understand that. It was mass murder involved. He'd go to therapy. Let's see if that works. But for him to then be the guy that was also the killer, and his reasoning was, oh, well, her friend died just like our friends died, so I had to help her get revenge. What? Well, your character from the other two, I know she did last on movies, who was the hero, like the guy who wouldn't give up, and who was, the knight in shining armor, turned into the killer. And not just turned into the killer, but I thought if he would be the killer, he would go after the mayor who was trying to erase the history of what happened to him.
That would make sense.
You go after the kids that had nothing to do with this one guy being murdered at all. And you don't even get to explore the history between Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character and the weird girl. That would have at least made more sense if that was like his adopted daughter or something. But all she says in the movie is like, yeah, my boss is cool. That's all she says about it. I'm like, what's going on here? How'd that conversation go, Darren? Did it go like she's crying about, you know, her friend, finding out her friend died, and then him like, oh man, that's terrible. Want to kill him? Well, how'd that go? How'd that go?
There's no logical way they got to that reasoning of doing those, especially too because like all the circumstances behind it. Again, why wait a year? Like that makes no sense. Why delay killing these people when you have plenty of opportunity to do it? What I think you brought up a good point. The mayor and these police officers and the people trying to kind of erase this town or kind of hide what's going on. Hell, make it a political horror movie and maybe go after them. And maybe if you want to bring these, because you know they have to bring the young crowd in for the teenagers and young adults who want to go see it. You could have Teddy being his son, like, hey, like, Dad, then they're coming after you. Let me get onto this investigation. Oh, I'm with my friends all the time. We start looking into it. Now we figure out what happened in '97. Now we're involved. I mean, just any kind of like, there's really, and I think about like, I always say this. I hate criticizing something and not giving something to kind of like replace, you know, what they gave me. And I would say, I mean, one, don't change the accident if you're going to do that. Don't change the accident at all, or change the concept of the movie. There's plenty of reasons to bring the fisherman back and somebody use it as a cloak to kill people. But just give me a good reason why. If they're trying to, you know, erase town history, or if they're trying to, like you said, they're bringing a lot of money in this town.
Yeah.
If they're trying to get, you know how politics and situations work. If they're trying to push people out that are more low income because they're trying to bring in some high income and like really flip this town, I mean, that's a decent reason to bring the fisherman back and say, hey, like this guy it was back. And we kind of figure out why. Some political, I don't know. I don't have the ideas to fix this, but to do what they did and then also try to push a sequel onto this, like we got to talk about the end, like the fact that this girl gets shot and falls in the middle of the ocean. Maybe they had a plan or whatever. I think that's ridiculous. How she is, one, Madison Klein should be dead. How she survived is ridiculous. How this other girl survived falling into the middle of the ocean. Like, what does she have? A team of scuba divers that are gonna come up and give her a mask, like Mission Impossible, and just take her away?
I'm going to say the girl that got shot clearly had a vest on, and that was a plan. So she fell off, probably swam because they weren't that far. They were only boating for like what, a couple minutes before the girl showed up. I said, okay, cool, fine. She can swim. Okay, let's say she swam. She got caught because in the end of the movie they say she's alive and she got caught. So she's somewhere in whatever facility, probably a crazy house or something.
Well, they didn't say she got caught. They say she's alive because.
But I'm saying how they find out. So I'm assuming someone.
No, remember Freddie Prinze Jr.'s like he was like, you killed your partner, and then he's like, did I?
Yeah.
That's how you knew the other girl was still alive.
I'm not even going with that because the way she said it after they're recovering, the girl just said, "Hey, I heard so and so's alive," and then they start drinking and laughing. About it.
Which they have.
So I'm assuming she had to wash up, and maybe someone saw her or something. But him being the killer,
it makes no sense. And then also too, to flip on top of that and have somebody send Brandy a postcard back, like what does she got to do with any of this?
And now I'm like, who would send her a postcard, because this girl doesn't know who that is, and Freddie Prinze Jr. definitely doesn't know her address because she didn't even want to be around him in our movie. So I'm trying to figure out what is going on. What's happening? Maybe when Freddie Prinze Jr. went to the back door for no reason, and then the front door in that one scene to Jennifer's house, maybe he went in there and just randomly found Brandy's address. But that's the whole movie.
So that's
the whole movie is horrendous. Every scene is bad. Every scene is bad. Every actor was bad. Madison Klein being alive is like, it's one thing to know how to swim, but you got stabbed in your sternum and then and then kicked off the boat into the middle of this. Even if you had to swim for 10 minutes, which a moderate swimmer can do, she ain't gonna make it with being stabbed in her sternum. But and not to stab, but the whole knife went in. The handle was damn near inside of her.
And they make it, and maybe this is not true, but they also make it seem like she washed on shore like days later. Like they act like time has passed, and it's like, and then she washes up on shore. It's like hospital. Like, come on, man. It's
She should just wash up on shore and said nothing. When she washed up on shore, coughed and said hospital, and then was knocked out again, I said, nope, throw it away. Throw the whole movie away. And I didn't expect the post-credit scene. I didn't expect that. When I saw that, I said, there's no way. But you know what? Fools went to go see this. I'm one of the fools who went to go see it. So they made double their budget already, I think. I think they made double. And that was last week. They might have made triple by now.
That's the job. The best thing about this movie, I guess, is his postcard over here. And that's interactive.
That's nice. But I'm like, there's oh man, when I saw that, it was only me and 3 people, and I was like, there's no way that I'm sitting in this movie watching. There's every other scene. I kept saying to myself, there's no way I'm sitting here right now. No way.
You know what's funny? And this tell you, Mark. So I have my coworker. He hates horror movies. Like one of my other friends couldn't make it, so I literally bought his tickets. Like, I don't want to see this alone because I know there's gonna be a lot to talk about. So I just want to have fun in the theater. So I take him. He obviously hates horror movies, avoids them. An easy scare, whatever. Me and him are just laughing throughout. It's that bad that we're laughing throughout this movie, and even he is like, "Damn, like I hate horror movies, but that was well more comedy than anything else because it's so ridiculous." And I got to bring up one more scene before we close this. This is my favorite scene of the movie by far.
No.
The scene with Teddy, where he's out drinking, getting drunk in the back, but he already got the message that said you're next.
Yeah.
So he knows the killer's coming after him. He's gonna go out, get drunk by himself on the back. And that's not the crazy part. The crazy part is we need a separate movie to explain this. They have this cult lair under their house that no one would have broken gate, and so much so that you have a Greek statue in the back that is sitting there in dark, no light around it, just in shadow, which that would scare the hell out of everybody visiting the house. You couldn't even have kids over. They walk down there and be like, oh my God. And it would scare the shit out of them. So much so that the killer can stand in front of the statue and he doesn't even notice him because it's just normal.
That scene and the scene when he's at the gym in the spa and Freddie Prinze Jr. is across from him, like this fog in his face and whatnot. And then he writes a note on the window saying, I'm like, how did Freddie Prinze Jr. know he was going to be in the gym and the spa at that time? There's no schedule for it. He just said, I'm going to the gym.
How does he have such great handwriting to write your next that clear?
And not have the steam, get rid of that?
Cover it back up. You didn't know when he was going to walk out.
Oh, man. Every single scene, and my heart almost broke when I saw Freddie Prinze Jr. as a killer. That broke. I was like, there's no way y'all brought it down from like a 5 out of 10 to a 1. No way you just did that.
I'm guessing this is also a strikeout for you. Complete.
Yes, absolutely. If we had a ranking system below strikeout, that would be it.
I've thought about ineligible as putting a ranking below strikeout. I just want to know how I want to word it and how classify for certain movies, but this is as bad. I think this is the worst movie in 2025. Like, I was saying Presence before this. I would give Presence a pass. At least they tried. So it was terrible. It was terrible writing. It's a low budget movie. They don't have the ability to go out and get a writer from fucking Thor: Love and Thunder. Like, they don't have that level. So this now is top worst 2025 for me.
Yeah, this is awful. This is completely awful.
Yeah. So that's all I have to say about it. I guess we'll be back for I Still Know What You Did Last Summer again.
Yeah.
Because apparently there's a sequel, but we said we were going to talk about it in Spoiler Fast, how to get Scotty back and do that. Everyone, make sure you like the video, sub. We got plenty of stuff coming to you. Fantastic Four spoilers coming out if this drops before that. We're going to talk about that. Alien Earth is coming down the line. Got to talk about that. Predator Badlands coming out soon. We got only a couple weeks before Weapons. So probably we'll talk about that again before we get out of here. But yeah, man, all that good stuff. Make sure you like the video. Scotty, let them know where they can find us at.
Kuronocomics on TikTok, Kurono Comics on TikTok, and Minor League Films or MLFHQ on everything else.
There you go. Appreciate all the new subscribers. We'll talk to you soon. All that good stuff. We'll catch you next.